Hello, everyone.
Hi, people!
Hi guys.
Oh, I'm just polishing up. Something broke.
Welcome to
Oh
another
no.
welcome to another edition of Adopt Nikola. It's a special time. We basically decided we don't want to counter program SEC and take away their viewership. Therefore, we're gonna doing this at 9 a.m. A huge shout out and welcome to WFM Maria Emelianova, who is agreed to play against me in what is really not an adoption match.
Not an adoption match.
It's a regular
That's how
match
we call it.
two.
Not an adoption match.
And to WIM Anna-Maja Kazarian, who is gonna yet again commentate this match as always. So welcome.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so I thank you, Nikola, for introduction. I could not keep avoiding it. It's been so long that I was commentating, same as Anna-Maja. I was commentating also Anna-Maja match against Nikola. And that was always like in the air when it's gonna happen. To be honest, I'm super nervous about this, and that's why I also insisted for it not to be an adoption match. I think I estimate my chances pretty realistically. Oh, oops! I have a cow on top of Nikola's face. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I'll try not to take that personally.
It was supposed to be on my face, but I changed the layout a little bit last moment and forgot about it. There we go. I will move it to my face.
All right, so somebody is reporting that they're hearing multiple versions of us.
They just need to
they
mute
probably
one
opened
of
all of the streams.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, we highly encourage you to open all three of our streams for the viewership reasons. And so okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank you,
if you want to help, do not mute them. You can lower the sound at almost maximum, but don't mute, because then Twitch doesn't count you as a viewer, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I think you also open 2005. I think it stops counting, but I don't know. They keep changing the settings as well, so I don't know. Anyway, it's a big honor to play Nikola. And
it's a big honor for me to play a titled player who came through the Russian school of chess and is classically trained. That's an honor for me, and who is soon going to be a member of the English Olympic team.
Well, also not without the help of Nikola, who also agreed, OpenPhil Media agreed to sponsor me on this way. Yes. And that's a huge support. Thank you, Nikola. And I wish I was at least a half as workaholic in chess as you are, and was able to prepare my openings the same way, because I think I'm going to be struggling today.
No.
Well, we'll see about that, but thank you for the kind words. That's very greatly appreciated. It's again, it's an honor, and it's an honor to have Anna-Maja here with us. So let's see.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure.
So this is basically a bounty match to 5, correct? And if Maria wins, there is a bounty of $250, like everywhere, like for all of these matches. And we'll figure out what we're gonna do after the match. I may send a bullet challenge or something, and we'll see how it goes. I'm playing not very well these days, so I think Maria's chances are good, and Maria knows how I play, and she is a very good tactical player, which I historically have trouble with. So I judge Maria's chances much significantly higher than she does. But so we'll see.
As you mentioned, the Russian school, I think that's the only thing I'm counting on today.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see how it goes. So yeah, it's first to 5 plus 2. Probably will not end with one we probably will not end with one stream like that, with one match like that, because both me and Nikola are trying to improve our chess, and now also got the same coach.
Yes.
I am Elizabeth Pets now is coaching both of us.
Amazing.
Monday for me and Wednesday for Nikola this week, this coming week. So we can also track our progress with her and definitely show her some of the games from the match.
It's absolutely amazing. She's really, really good.
Yeah. Actually, my first lesson is going to be at 1 p.m. Central European time on Thursday, because Wednesday was difficult for Elizabeth, and I'm looking forward to torture sessions with Elizabeth. She said she's going to prepare, and I'm already scared. So let's see what happens.
She's great. I really enjoyed the lesson with her, and looking forward to the next one tomorrow. I probably will be suffering more because she will be looking at the games.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It will be all right.
All right. So we are ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mute myself.
I'm following you.
Okay. So Nikola probably is challenging me, and I'm gonna mute myself on Nicola's on Anna-Maja and Nicola's streams.
Sure thing.
Maybe he actually cannot challenge me. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys for all of your beads. Thank you. 5 puppies. Okay, challenge is there. I'm muting myself.
Okay, both are muted. Hello, guys. Once again, welcome to another match of Nikola Stoichin. Today, Nikola is playing against WFM Maria Emelianova. She's from originally from Russia. So as Nikola mentioned already, she has the Russian education of chess, which might be which is very, very useful. But yeah, the game has started, guys. The game has started. This is a match of first to 5, I think, or 5 games. Wait, was it first to 5? Yeah, first to 5. Time control is 5 plus 2. And we're gonna go for the Kalashnikov. Are we gonna see Kalashnikov? Yes. Okay, I love to see this. I've played the Kalashnikov myself a few years. Wasn't a big fan of it anymore, but it's not really that bad. I just couldn't deal with it myself. Also, I have all 3 chats open, so if you have any question, feel free to ask. I will try to catch up with 3 chats. It's gonna be a bit hard, but I will try my best. C4. So in the Kalashnikov, here are 2 main lines. You have knight c3 and you have c4. C4 leads to positions where d4 and d5 are the main squares that are being fought on. Knight c3 also has also the same ideas, but with c4, you're not allowing your opponent at all to push b5 or d5 anytime soon. So c4, a6, knight 5, c3, knight f6, and bishop g5 has played. This looks really, really similar to the Sveshnikov, but as you can see, there's a pawn on c4. In the Sveshnikov, the knight is also on a3 instead. Yeah, it's pretty arguable, I guess, if this is a better version or not. Because the square on d4 is really, really weak. Usually you play c3 in Sveshnikov to cover the square at d4. But yeah, personally, I like playing this with white, personally. But yeah, until I mess up, because I'm not sure about the opening. What if 4.5, 4.5? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Armageddon. Hey, 2511, great to see you. Hello, hello. I wonder, guys, do you guys prefer this time, or do you prefer usually the time of these matches are 3 hours later, so at 6 p.m. CET. Do you prefer this time or the later time? What do you think? I really wonder what the chat thinks about it this time because of Australia. Early stream. Hey player, welcome. Hello, hello. Both times. This time. Ask the Americans. Are there Americans in the chat? Hi Anthony, welcome. Hello. Are there Americans in the chat? I would like to hear your opinion. 95. So now as you can see, this knight is on d5, but there is one slight problem. If this knight jumps to d4, there is nobody who can actually get rid of that knight. You might even have to sacrifice your rook for the knight on d4 in order to, you know, get some play there, because knight d4 is going to really annoying. For now, there's pressure on the pawn on g2, but if you castle, that's one way of defending the pawn. Then after bishop h3, there's bishop f3, and knight d4 is going to be really annoying. So g3 has been played. Looks all right. Looks all right to me. They're clearly okay with this. You think it's a great time. Okay, I see. You prefer it later. Okay, I see. I see, 2511. A little early for West Coast. That's true. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so basically today was decided to do the match a bit earlier because oh, there's a fork. There's a fork there. Because it clashes with the Species Championship. Oh, the fork was missed. Oh no. Okay, so there was a fork. Knight of 6 would have won the bishop. So now Maria is a pawn up with an amazing knight, a fantastic knight on d4. Soon she will put the rooks on the c file, just like white. And yeah, I would say, you know, usually you would say that the bishop is better in an endgame where like pawns are on all sides, like both sides of the board. And also the position is fairly open, so you say the bishop is better, but this knight is really strong. So f4 has been played in order to remove the defender of this very strong knight. All Maria needs to play is f6, I think, and simply make sure that, exactly, f6. So after f6, e5, she'll play f6, e5, and the knight will still be on d4. 5 a.m. d6 is not a problem at all. Not yet. I would say that d5 is more of a problem, since d5 can easily be attacked. Like, so for example, you can play rook c5 to attack it, and it's really hard for white to defend the pawn on d5. Whereas the pawn d6, I don't see how you can actually attack that pawn. f5. Ooh, that is a difficult choice to make there. Do you play f5 or not? Because now you're kind of forced to play e4. Although maybe it was alright to allow the capture so you can attack the pawn d5. Make sure that your knight is still on d4. I think keeping the tens in the center would have been better. But e4 is also right. You're creating a passed pawn, which is defended by another pawn, cannot be attacked by another pawn or something. So yeah, the only problem is that the knight is almost trapped. For now, you can always go to e2 or f3, but it's not really pleasant. That drops knight takes b3. Ooh, that is really sad. GG, wow. That was a close one. That was an interesting game.
So we both blundered the same type of fork. But knight f6, I completely forgot that my pawn is on g6.
Oh. Hi, Lilo.
Yeah, g3 probably. You probably should have castled and then bishop f3.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay, you should hear me now. Sorry. All right. Thank you, Tamhas. Thank you, Lilia. It's on me. I just muted my microphone and I forgot to unmute. My mic level is low. Okay. Let me see if I can increase it. Is it better now? Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Hedgehog. Very greatly appreciate it. Okay. So this wasn't the best effort on both our sides. So congratulations, Maria. It's 1-0. Let's. Yeah, I did not. I wanted to play this Marazzi bind, but I didn't play it well. It was not the right line. Okay, so I needed to play bishop e3 earlier, not allow your knight to end up on g4, on d4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I missed a few other things. Okay, well, it is what it is. I'm gonna send a rematch.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm muting myself here.
Okay, so the first game, in the first game, Maria has won. So yeah, that was a really, really close one. There was one fork missed, but the second fork was not missed by Maria, and she punished Nikola for missing that one really well. Honored the rook blunder for me. Okay, we see. Are we gonna see the Ruy Lopez? Oh, the Scotch. Okay, we see the Scotch on the board. Not really familiar with this, but I can definitely point out some ideas, hopefully. Yeah, but both are playing fairly quickly. Honestly, I would say that playing quickly, like for me personally, playing quickly actually could be better, because when I take my time, I start to overthink, and like that's when I start messing up. So if I play like my moves quickly, it's like more beneficial for myself. So I like Maria's strategy. I like it. I like the quick moves. Hi Jason, welcome. Good morning. Hello. Okay, this is one of the most sharp lines. I've played this line myself with white a few times, but if you don't know this line, it could be really, really tough. There you It feels so weird because we have the same mic, but my mic is further away from me, so it's kind of weird. You can hear me so loud. I do play 4-player chess sometimes, very sometimes. I haven't played it in a while, but I want to play it once again. I'm not sure when, because I want to do so many things. It's getting really tough. No, Blue, but me and Maria actually have exactly the same one. Exactly the same. It's exactly the same. It's literally the same mic. Oh, That's so funny. G6. So after you move like bishop a3, I assume you can play knight b4 or maybe c5. I'm not sure. This position is really, really sharp. Like, there are all sorts of, like, the queens are super weirdly placed. There is this pin going on here. Prevents you from castling quickly because your bishop can barely move. You need to play g3, bishop g2 castles in order to castle or move the queen, but the queen needs to protect the pawn e5. f4 makes sense. Protect the pawn e5. Bishop a3, queen takes a3. Oh, it is actually something. Hey, Anit, welcome. Welcome, great to see you. Mine is newer. Doesn't really get that rusty over time. I thought it wouldn't get rusty at all. Ah, bishop b. Oh, that is really cool. Really cool. So Sleepy Mario is pointing out that after a move like bishop a3, you have queen takes a3, knight takes a3, bishop b4, and you can have maybe some knight c3 ideas. That's pretty cool. Castles. Yeah. Yes, I can read all chats. I can read everything. I have eyes everywhere. Hey, RKDK. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Bishop g7. Yeah, you need to be careful of all sorts of pin heres. There's a pin, here is a pin, this is a pin. But wait, there's a pawn hanging. Ooh, there is a pawn hanging. Could the pawn have been taken? Takes. Ooh, this is really complicated. I don't think this would be ideal for black because the white is attacking the queen as well, offering a queen trade as well, and attacking the rook. It would not be bad, very bad, but it would not have been ideal. So bishop g7 makes sense. Knight f3, queen f4. Yeah, that too. Yeah. That too. Yes, guys, I would really, really appreciate if you could tune in into Nikola's channel. You will still hear me. You will still be able to hear me. You can still see me. So I can actually say this to all chats because everyone hears me. Please tune in into Nikola's stream. We're trying to get him partnered. He met all the requirements, but he only needs to be accepted by Twitch. And the best thing we could do is to help him out with the viewership. So I would really appreciate if you would tune in into his stream instead. So let me give a shout out to Nikola in my chat and join that stream. I'm also able to see the chat. How's this channel? Great CB Mario. Great to see you there. Do I look different here? Oh, that's funny. Okay, knight f6. It's absolutely crazy how many pins there are in this position. Like, if you like pins, I guess this is what you should be playing. Like, it looks like, for example, the knight on d5 is not safe, but it was because the queen was in e2 and there was a pin there. Now the knight is on f6 and the pawn is pinned here once again. It's crazy. Bishop e2. Would we be happy with a move like knight e4? Can we make sure that the knight stays there? Looks a bit difficult because after, for example, queen d3. Oh, you can play knight c5 then. So, for example, if queen e3, you might want to consider d5, but then after c takes d5, the bishop and the knight on e4 will be hanging. That is difficult. Great to see you all. Nicola's chat. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I think e takes d6. Yeah, wait a second. So 94. Oh, e takes d6 right away. Ooh, that is very sharp. Knight takes d2. D takes e7. I think you will drop the bishop on b2 move order. So black will be able to take the queen first, and then after white takes the queen, then you can take the bishop on b2. So immediately taking on d6 wouldn't have worked, but you can just move the queen and then consider taking on d6. Will be all right. D takes e5, f takes e5. Let's go. Hi, Elson. Welcome. Yeah, I was also considering f5. I was also considering that, but it's really unclear. Really, really unclear. I think now 97 is all right. I was still considering 94 because you could follow that up with queen b4 check. I'm not sure if that is very beneficial though, because you will soon be kicked out of that square. But it looks certainly cool. E6 exclamation mark. E6. Tactics, tactics, guys. If bishop takes b2, queen takes b2. Oh, bishop takes b2, queen takes b2. Then the rook is hanging on h8, as well as the knight on d7. If you well, actually you take on d7 first. My bad. If bishop takes b2, you take on d7 first with the check, and then you take on b2. My bad. Let me go back. E6. You can take with the f pawn. You can do that, but as you can see, the pawn structure will be ruined like crazy, which is why maybe it was for the best. I think it was for the best, but it's basically why e6 is a good move. Very, very sharp, very tactical, and gives you a lot of opportunities. Knight e5 has been played. Takes on f7. You cannot take with the knight. You don't want to take with the king, certainly. I think queen takes should be all right, but then followed by rook f1, and it's kind of hard to castle for black. What does black do? King f8 maybe? That is no king f8. Bishop a3, c5. Ooh. Very, very unclear. I would rather take on f7 with the queen. Yeah, just to be sure. I think we should see some rook d8 move coming up soon here. It's a bit hard. Oh, the time! Oh my goodness. Queen d7. Oh, that is a nice move. That is a nice fork there. Wow. That is a nice one. I don't think you could save from that. Knight d3, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes, g7. Wow.
I don't know. I don't know if it was working.
It looked really, really good. Well played.
I forgot the line here. Oh, hold on.
I never knew, but I wanted to make e6. I wanted to play 6 since
Let
move
me
7.
see here. I actually...
Since move 7?
Well, not 7, but once our bishops were there.
I prepared this for Dina, and then I forgot the line. I didn't actually expect you were gonna play this. So, alright. I was winning, but then ran out of time. Haha, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, queen e5 is... Yeah, I forgot about the time. Queen e5 fails to knight d3.
Oh, I thought it was tactically correct, but it simply drops the bishop.
Which one? Which moment?
The end.
The very end. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I felt like with bishop b2 I might have given up a pawn on f4, but I'm not sure if you can take it.
Yeah, obviously 5 plus 2 is 2. I need to play faster. Good game, Maria. Let's... And what... So basically... yeah, you were
knight d3 immediately. Okay.
Basically, you were bet. I shouldn't play a queen d7. That was just I need to play queen e6 instead.
Ah, right. It's also rook f7 there.
Yeah.
So I should just take.
Yeah. And then
But
you
could I
actually have a
immediately
better
play?
ending. You have
I
a
also
better
cannot
ending.
play queen f5. So I need to just develop the knight.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was all dubious. I felt like I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yes, Dirk, faster. I need to not take this much time. All right, very good. Good games, Maria. Thank you.
GG.
This is gonna turn into adoption match, as I can tell. All right.
No.
Muting the microphone.
Good luck. All right. Yeah, this was a very, very sharp game. So apparently knight d3 wasn't the best move here. And it wins since you can take, like the rook on a1 is trapped, which is why knight d3 was very, very good. Very, very surprising. And it was so funny to see both kings not having castle. And that's what I was afraid of, that both kings would not be able to castle because the development was very messy, you know? It's very typical in that opening. If you manage to castle as soon as possible, then you're fine. But otherwise, it's gonna be really tough. No, I can't, Blue Boy. Okay, are we gonna see another Kalashnikov? Maybe Sveshnikov? Oh, knight of 6, ruling out the Kalashnikov. c3. Okay, we're in a Sveshnikov now. And there's no c4. See, there's no c4 being played. It wasn't possible, basically. So, yeah. Yeah. I agree, Tam has. p5. We're now in the main line of the Sveshnikov. Let's see how this will go. So main move is knight d5. Now you also have bishop takes f6. I'm not sure what the difference is between knight d5 and bishop takes f6, but you certainly rule out the fact that after knight d5 there's bishop e7 move, and then if you take on f6, then you take with the bishop on f6. Well, you have the choice to take with the bishop or the pawn. But now after bishop takes f6, I don't think queen takes f6 is any good, right? That cannot be any good. So pawn takes f6, knight d5. You're basically ruling out the possibility of the bishop taking on f6. The black bishop. Knight d5. This has both ups and downs, of course. This pawn f6 might look really, really bad, and it ruins it looks like their pawn structure is ruined. But since you can play f5, attacking the pawn e4, which defends the really strong square d5 where the knight is on, it leads to very, very interesting positions. I remember, I think I may or may not have played this myself, and I always liked the fact I could push f5. It's really, really satisfying, and the position that arises are really, really cool. Yeah, it lets black keep the bishop pair, yes. Yeah, bishop on g7 would have been much better to develop. You're simply trying to keep your pair of bishops, and the bishop on e7 is not really well placed, mostly because now castling short, you don't have anything that is guarding the g file. So that's why bishop to g7 would have been much better. There's a whole different line, yes, right. f5. There it is. There it is. How do you play against this? Do you play bishop d3? I don't think f3 would be a great move. I think you can even let the pawn stay there, like considering I'm considering to play knight e3 here. I think it's actually a thing to let the pawn be hanging there. It's unclear if black wants to take the pawn e4 or not. Like, I can imagine pushing f4 is much better to support some sort of attack on the king side. Would it help black to try to get the queens off? That's an interesting question. So basically you might think like, okay, the king in the center looks scary, but as you can see, it's really, really well defended by all the pieces around it. I would say in this position that castling short is not what you want. You might soon have the knights and the queen on your roof, including this rook right here. So just staying in the center, it should be all right for now. Should be all right. 93. Oh, taking on e4. Okay, I like to see f4, but maybe you can play f5 and then push f4 with that pawn. Looks pretty scary, but since the king is once again really well defended by all the pieces around it, should be all right. Should be all right. Queen takes a4. Okay. Bishop d7. Yes, that's certainly the best move. But it does drop the pawn. Huh. So now things are getting a little bit scary. White is taking control of the center. Knight is jumping soon to f5. The bishop is able to join the attack. It's getting a little bit shaky for black. Also, keep in mind that the pawn a6 is hanging. Black decided to castle, and this is rather scary. Oh, I have to refresh. Hold on. I have to refresh there. Okay, short castle. I would be really afraid of a move like knight f5. You can take it. You can take the knight on f5. But it's certainly not what you want. Also, you can consider bishop d3. But I'm not sure what happens after f5 because the queen barely has any squares left. You can play queen f3 because after e4 you can try to give a check and then move your bishop. But it looks rather scary after f5. Maybe you can consider playing queen c4. Threaten some discovery check. Because, so f5, queen c4, bishop e6, you drop the knight on c6. So a move like queen c4 I think would be very, very ideal. I would like to see that. There we go. There you go. Hey Gato Moderato, welcome. Hello. Hi Nikola Tesla, welcome. Good night, Sleepy Mario. See you. Thanks for coming by. King h8 to get out of the discovery check. Can you consider now taking there? Since the bishop is basically overloaded. I'm not sure if it's totally worth it. Yeah, I would say yes. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to take on f5. So knight takes f5, bishop takes, bishop takes. Is there some sneaky move like knight a5? No. If knight a5, you can simply try to defend the bishop on f5. So knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and you can simply take on c6. And you have a fantastic knight on d5. Absolutely beautiful. So I think you can actually take there. There he goes, knight takes f5. Brilliant. Yeah. Very, very nice tactics in this match. Very, very nice tactics. Yeah, it's really, really cool. It is. It seriously is. What does Maria do here? It's a bit hard. Okay, she decides to take the knight on f5. Bishop takes f5. And yeah, after rook takes f5, you simply take on c6. I don't think there's anything else here. Like knight a5, once again, followed by queen e4, or maybe queen g4. Doesn't even matter as long as you defend both the queen and the bishop. Nikola's very happy here. I can imagine, yes. The position looks really, really good for him. So as you can see, the knight on d5. The d5 is the main square in both the Sveshnikov and the Kalashnikov. And if you manage to control d5 and nobody can attack you, you're doing really, really well. And as you can see, knight on d5, there's no piece that can attack the knight on d5. You can simply take here on a6, honestly. But you can also play queen b7, attack the bishop on e7. Okay, goes for the pawn. Why not? And also, you're trying to prepare c4. c4 in order to defend the knight in case it will be attacked by, for example, this rook. So black could play e4, but then you will simply follow up with c4. Just to make sure you're not losing your knight there. You can also just go back if you like. It's not really like... Oh wait, actually, you can just take there. You can just take there. You can just take there and that's GG. That is GG, wow. Wow, really well played by Nikola. That was impressive.
Okay.
GG. Congrats.
No, this is actually this. To be honest with you, I think this is a very good game. I had this. I actually had this position in my prep, and I'm just starting to remember it. So
I was not happy with my position at all.
Yeah. I had this on the board with the whole a4 idea. I played this against the man Ambleton, and it was.
Hedgehog.
I learned. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
No, but already after queen a4, you're better.
Yeah. It looked really
f5
promising.
was too early. Okay, even before actually. Wow.
What do you think about
like
playing bishop g7 instead of bishop e7?
I mean, I have like 99% accuracy, which is amazing. So
I wasn't sure, but I thought like bishop belongs to e7, but maybe I'm wrong.
As far as I know, in usually you play bishop e7, but if it's taken on f6 and you have the chance to go to g7, at least you go to g7, so you cover the g file somewhat. It's like defending your king when you do short castle, I think.
Yeah.
With bishop e7, I think it is better to not castle.
I always lose the pawn on d6 if I play
yeah, that is true. Else. I think that is a drawback of this line.
Yeah.
I think
the whole Sveshnikov is a big drawback for me.
I feel you. I've also played this, and I was always getting disappointed with my play.
Like once my opponent plays a4, I'm like, why am I even playing this opening at all? Because I so much prefer to play for white.
Yes.
Yeah, that's that's actually one of the problems I have that I need to figure out. Like this is like 99% accuracy, and the game before that I was missing knight f6.
It happens. It certainly happens. No, this was a really, really well played game.
Yeah, I completely missed the idea of giving 2 pawns and then taking them back with queen a4. It's very nice.
Yeah,
yes.
I played this line several times against the man Hambleton.
What did you not play, Nikola? Is there any opening that you did not play yet?
I
would like to write it down.
Yeah.
No, the real issue here is in the first game we played, I remember the line up to a point, and then I couldn't remember. And the previous game, I completely misplayed the line, like the previous Sicilian game. Okay, I'm gonna send a rematch.
All right, good luck.
Mute.
Alrighty, so the score is 2-1, guys. Nikola played a perfect game. That was really, really good. So basically, this is how you play the Sveshnikov. I think we can all agree on the fact that Nikola showed us how you play against the Sveshnikov. You push a4, and we don't really care so much about the pawn e4. We will just take it back whenever we can. So that was really, really well played. Alrighty, we're back in the Scotch, guys. Back in the Scotch. No yellow work. No, certainly not. Very exciting game. Yes, that's for sure. Are we gonna see the same line? I think so. Oh no, I think if the same line would have happened, then e5 would have been played. Bishop d3. This looks already less sharp than the first Scotch game we had. d5. I think I've played this a few times and I didn't really like what I was getting. Castles. Oh, that's interesting. Is that pretty sure this is like some secret opening trap where you cannot take on c6. And it has to do with the king not being castled. So Maria just castles the king, making sure that she does not fall into like rook e8 kind of stuff, which looks really unpleasant. Bishop g4. Yeah, you certainly don't want to play f3, but I guess it would be alright. I have loved to see f3. We're not afraid of this diagonal because no knight can reach that f2 square, you know, very dangerous square. But okay, now it looks like we're back in a normal position, or normal common position, and I would say black is better developed, but has a worse pawn structure. And I'm curious to see for which one it will be better. For who it will be better. Will Ben Feingold approve of f3? I think in this situation he would. I see. Yeah, I think bishop g5 would be really, really cool right now. It actually threatens something. You threaten to take on h7 because the knight will be pinned. You cannot take back. So I think bishop g5 would be a nice try. So far, so good, guys. So far, so good. Usually this pawn is an isolated pawn, but since there's a pawn on c7, it can support the pawn on d5. We don't call this an isolated pawn anymore. But usually these kind of positions are really, really common, where the pawn on c7 is actually on b7. But now we see a gap on the b file, and the pawn is on c7, which might support the pawn on d5. White bishop is happy. I think so too, especially since the black bishop, the black light squared bishop, is not able to trade with the bishop on d3. Usually we would like to see bishop h5, bishop g6 to trade off the bishops. But if you go to h5 now, you will face knight takes h5, knight takes, and then bishop takes h7, losing the pawn there. Also losing the bishop pair. So yeah, the bishop on d3 is certainly happy here. e4, bishop d6, bishop f5. Okay, goes for the trade. That's not really a bad idea. Not a bad idea to trade off these bishops. Okay, queen c7, putting pressure on the knight on f4. Where do you go with the knight? Ooh, this is rather tricky. So if you go, for example, to e2, you face bishop takes f5, queen takes f5, and then you drop the knight on e2. So I think you are basically forced to take on c8 here. You're forced to take on c8 so that you can free the knight. Exactly. Bishop takes c8, and now the knight will be able to move either to d3 or e2. Safe and sound. You can also consider playing g3, actually. There's nothing wrong with g3, considering after bishop takes, you simply take back with the bishop, but it's a little bit shaky. It's a little bit shaky. If there is a better move like queen f5, there's no reason to create weak squares. So, okay, so a move like right now could be rook e5. Exactly. And where does the queen go to? I don't see any sort of tricks. The rook is well defended by the queen. The queen is not overloaded here on c7. So I think we should see here a retreating move. A queen d3, maybe queen c2, queen d3, of course. Yeah, this is an actual match, yes. This is an actual match. Rook e4, putting more pressure on the knight. And I think the knight has to retreat. It will be for the best. So you can maybe consider going to d4, going to g3, f5. All sorts of better squares for the knight. Black has more pawn islands. Exactly. Great job. Great that you know that. Great job. Yeah. So basically the fact that black has more pawn islands, we can easily see how many vulnerable pawns there are in black's position. We see a7 being a good target for white. We see c6 very weak. And if c6 drops, we will be able to attack d5 as well. I do have to note that if black wants to solve these issues, a move like a5 already saves a lot. It saves a lot. If you are able to trade off the pawn a7 with the pawn on b4, you might be able to solve that issue very quickly, very soon. But after a5, there is b5, so it's not really like helping that much, but it's certainly helping in some way. Because if, for example, imagine if the queen is on a6, blocking the pawn, and you will simply play bishop e3, attacking the pawn, it's going to be looking really rough for black. But okay, black has stacked the rooks on the e file, and the knight is in an uncertain position. I think we will see knight d4, so at least the knight will be able to jump to f5. That would be really cool. c3 is very weak. I agree there. Yeah, I agree. The only thing is that c3 can be very well defended by all pieces of white. So we can put the bishop on d4. We have the knight on e2, literally defending it. It is not easy to attack this one. So yeah, it is certainly weakness. We cannot push it, but we're not gonna lose it anytime soon. And as soon as pieces are being traded, we might be able to play c4 at some point. Yeah. Knight d7, trying to put the knight on e5 and consider going to c4, or maybe even try to do some sacrifices. Maybe there's some knight f3 in the air. Who knows? Rook e1. Knight e5. Where does the queen go? I guess c2 is the best square for the queen. Or you could consider going to a6 and put pressure on the pawn. But the problem with this is that the knight will move to c4, and then how are you gonna solve everything that's going on in e file? As you can see, you will not be able to move this bishop because then you will drop the knight there. It's gonna be really, really tough. So I think knight c4 will be an absolutely brilliant move. Will Nikola play it? Absolutely amazing. Knight c4 has been played. And as you can see, if we move this bishop, then e2 knight drops. So taking on a7 is not going to help anything. Knight e4 has been played, but I think now you can take on a3 if you want. That would be really good. Yeah, indeed. Nikola is indeed playing faster. That is impressive. Knight takes e3, pawn takes, rook takes, just going for that pawn. And I don't think Nikola is afraid of losing the c6 pawn because you'll be able to take the pawn on c3 with you if that happens. Queen takes c6. There we go. Okay, and if you take on a7, then the b4 pawn will drop. Check. And we might see this pawn push. I think that will be very, very... Ooh. Okay, if rook d1... I think rook d1 was a great chance. Rook d1. I like that. You drop this pawn, but you take this pawn with you, and you might be able to threaten some stuff on the back ring. Ooh, this is... Will we see a trade? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's any good. Honestly, wait. Black is up some pawns here, so trading off is certainly good for black. Yeah. Oh, is there some sacrifice here, guys? I think you can play a5 and take on a7. What do you think, guys? a5, knight takes a7, bishop takes a7, b6, bishop b8, a6. I don't know, guys. Okay, now it's certainly not good anymore since the king is very close. But when the king was on g8, I think sacrificing on a7 would have been really, really good. I really wonder how that was. But I think that was very crucial. Now, Nikola is simply pushing g5. And that will be it. Yeah, I also think it was winning. Wow. Wait, can you still do it? Takes. I think it's a... Okay, knight d5 is also really nice. You're threatening knight d7 and then to push b6. It's more of a clean way. Knight d3. Yeah, this is rough. The pawns are just very, very quick. Yes. This is very difficult. Knight b4. Yeah, the pawn is simply promoting and you cannot stop it. GG.
Okay, this was a little bit...
GG.
Thank you. This was a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was very, very close. I think there was one moment that was very crucial was, let me see. After the rooks were traded off, I think knight takes a7 could have been really interesting.
a7.
Yeah, so...
But you're losing a knight to
yes.
check.
So basically you push a5 and your next idea is b6, and I don't think the king is able to catch the pawn.
Ah, knight a7, bishop... okay.
So basically, I would say after f5 right away to make sure that the king is far away. So yeah, knight takes a7 simply.
So you mean later, not immediately?
Yeah, that would have been...
b5, allow bishop c5, and then later take.
Yeah, I was thinking, so move 30 after f5, move 35.
Yeah, 36. Yeah, that I missed that. So
Yeah.
Maria had.
Yeah, I was thinking about a5 and then.
Yeah, I think a5 is all, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, that's what computer likes to. Basically, I need to. And then after knight a7, you basically have two protected passed pawns, and I'm still a little better, but I can't take the knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the king, actually, if you don't take the knight, the king re-gets in time, but it's a draw.
Yeah, that was very, very sharp endgame there.
Yeah, but it's really hard to calculate this.
Of course, yeah. I was also like, is it working? Is it because yeah, black pawns, it looked like they were pushing really quickly.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I have to bring the knight back very urgently, otherwise it's g3 and then d3.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. You had a draw,
And yeah,
basically.
you do d3 and then g1. And then b6, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
All right.
Yeah, interesting endgame.
Yeah, I actually prepared this line with the. I think it's actually an Epos line that you don't take. That you, instead of taking on d5, you castle. So.
Yeah, I figured that was some line.
Yeah, computer doesn't like it, but it's actually a very good line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you cannot really take on c6 at any point.
You can, but the problem is if you take on c6, then you need to play f3. You can't play immediately, and if you don't castle, if you take on c6 before you castle, then you play bishop g4, and then queen e8, and then rook d8 is curtains. So.
Yeah, that looks scary.
Yeah. All right.
Fair.
Okay. Despa 021. Yes, I grew up in Belgrade, so I definitely speak Serbian. Okay, so one for all the marbles, Maria. Okay.
So it's 2-2.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so I'm sending the rematch.
Good luck.
Okay, and I'm taking this off.
I'm not sure, did Nikola mean that this is decider? Because we're first to 5, right?
Yeah, I thought so too.
Not best of 5.
Yeah. Okay. We will see. We will see. Okay, here we go. Okay, we see one e4. c5. Will we see another Sveshnikov? Or will we see Kalashnikov? Okay, okay. This could go still, and this could still go anywhere. Kalashnikov. There we go. There we go. So the difference is, in the Sveshnikov, you first play knight f6, knight c3, and then play e5. Whereas in the Kalashnikov, you play this, you play e5, and then d6. And you kind of postpone knight f6, and it leads to different positions. What are co-op games? What are those? Oh, there's a raid in Maria's channel. I think Maria saw that. Usually when the players don't see notifications, I think like whatever happened. I think the person that made this alert thing, you know. But I think Maria saw that. Anyways, welcome everyone, welcome Raiders. This is a match between Nikola Stoyshin and Maria Emelianova. Her handle is at PhotoChess. And yeah, so far it's 2-2. It was first to 5, I think. As far as I know, we agreed on first to 5. So yeah, we will have a look. Great, Glendron, great. Cooperative. I'm not sure. Like, oh, I don't know. Honestly, when I play Valorant, I'm either mad at myself for messing up so badly, or I'm mad at my teammates. Let's see what I will save it. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at it later. It is Blue Boy. It is. Let me have a look. Okay. Okay, we see, okay, now Maria goes to G7 with bishop, which is actually really typical for the Kalashnikov. The bishop goes to G7, you try to push F5 and make sure you can control D4 square. The knight on D5 can be really, really disturbing, especially since there are 2 pawns protecting the knight with another knight on top of that. So yeah, the knight on D5 can be disturbing, but you should try to find your way to play around this knight. Hey Chesties, welcome, hello. Oh. Hi Cheslines, welcome, hello, great to see you. D4 is also vulnerable, yes, so the game is basically, the opening is about D5 and D4 square. So yeah. Yeah, that's basically all I can say. The game is about these 2 squares, and we have to see who can like make use of the squares in the best way possible. Let's have a look. Oh wait. Oh. Okay. B3. Protecting the pawn C4 makes sense. Are we gonna see some F4? I would like to see F4. Activity. Really important. Holy. Bishop pair doesn't like too many pawns. Yeah, so basically black has a pair of bishops, but as you can see, you cannot really make use of the pair of bishops here. It's really hard to activate the bishops. It is much better to trade the bishop for the knight right here. So Maria decided to take on D5. Pawn takes on D5. Is Maria able to control the C file somehow? For now, both rooks are on there. It's a bit hard. Bit hard. It will be fun to see the knights being traded off. So like we will have opposite colored bishops. And the funny thing is that both bishops are bad. It's really, really funny that both bishops are actually super bad. So yeah, that might be very interesting. Ollie, I just saw I just saw Feyenoord. I hope you didn't put on Groningen, or did you? I think you did, right? Oh, you didn't. I thought you did, or like in your I don't care bet. Oh, it was my idea. Oh, exactly. That's the one I was asking. That one doesn't count, sad. A4. Okay. Bishop h6. That is how you take control over a certain file, guys. Take notes. Bishop h6. You attack the rook that is on the file where it's all about, making sure that white cannot control the c file anymore. So now white is forced to move the rook. There's no way that white can cover this diagonal. Rook c2 is one way of, well, still trying to keep the file. But the problem is you cannot put your rook behind the other rook in order to like claim the file, you know? So rook c3 has been played, and it's a little bit hard for white to take control over the c file. Bishop c4, that is a really cool move. So it blocks the rook. It doesn't allow the rooks to connect on the c file. Although it's a bit risky considering after rook c8 you might face b5, attacking the bishop, and it's a little bit unclear there. f4 can just be taken, yes. True, queen e1 is indeed a big threat. That is a really, really nice one that you spotted there. Maria defends the queen. That is really, really clever. That is really clever. So I think Maria saw that the rook might be pinned after queen e1. So she decides to defend the queen and make sure it's all good. The pawn on a6 is hanging, but I would say you can afford that. I would say that you can afford that. Oh yeah, bishop takes a6, rook takes c2. Exactly, you're right. Oh, rook a8, defending the pawn either way. But I think you could, so what you could have done, rook takes c3 first. Rook takes c3, queen takes, and then bishop takes a6. It drops the b3 pawn, but your bishop is becoming so much better, is able to play bishop b5. And I think that's where white starts to get a better position. Queen c5 check. Now the rook is hanging. Oh, but now you can play rook takes, queen takes b5? You could do that. It is not winning. Maybe rook c8 first to make sure you can win the piece here. Because after b5, there's bishop d3 protecting the queen. So maybe rook c8 first. But then the problem is the queen can simply go anywhere. So maybe you should play b5. And find a way to be active differently. Chessbeast, thanks for the 5 bits. Thank you. Do I play subs? Sometimes. I will try to find a moment where I will play subs. b5, there we go. So Nikola can consider taking on b5 or just let the pawn there and play bishop d3 immediately. Hi Montrezor, welcome, hello. Okay, bishop d3, queen takes, bishop takes. Let's go. Rook c8. Oh, and this is where it starts getting a little bit shaky, guys. As you can see, the rook here is stuck to the pawn on f4. So bishop d3. And now the rook will enter on c3. And this is getting really, really tough for white. The bishop on d3 is attacked. The pawn on b3 is attacked. And you don't have time to take on b5. You don't have time for that. Yes, the rook is certainly overloaded. Yes. This is why having pawns defended, it's really important. Basically, there are a few weaknesses in white's position, and black is making use of that. Takes. You can. So if you take here on d3, b takes a6, rook takes b3, and if a7, you simply go behind the rook, rook a3. If rook a1, you simply go rook b8, rook e8, and that's it. That's it. Now you just take on f4. Bishop takes f4 and it's GG. Okay, she's making sure she's pinning the pawn. That is absolutely amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Rook c1. Trying to put the rook on c6. Interesting. Now just taking the pawn there, and this should be over soon. Rook a8, and funny enough, the pawn cannot be defended. It can be after rook e1, but it's GG, guys. GG.
I was scared.
Congratulations,
Well played,
Maria.
GG.
Good game.
I was really scared of that passer pawn.
Oh, you handled it very well.
No, congratulations. I have a little task to perform.
Can I quickly do a bathroom break?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
I'm not mute. Very good. Kudos to Maria. Okay. Okay. Good. So let's see. What did I? Oh, it's first to 5. Oh. All right, then I jumped the gun. Okay. All right, very good. We'll figure that out. No, if it's first to 5, then we still have games to play. That's fine. All right. I thought it was best out of 5, but all right, very good. No, actually, guys, the match is not over. We had some confusion. Thanks, Dirkie, for the. All right. Well, that's very good.
Okay.
Let me.
Dirkie
waited that good. Dirkie, good job. Thank you. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. So where did I mess this up?
Oh, let's have a look.
Thanks, 25-11. I felt that I had a really good position out of opening, but then Thank you for the bits, ChessBeast1129. Very greatly appreciated. Thank you. Okay.
I think pushing f4 really should have been played at some point. Like, somewhere should have been played f4
earlier.
Yeah.
By the way, I just assumed that the match was over, so I donated the bounties. But is this 2-5?
I think we meant first to 5.
Okay,
but yeah, when you said all the marbles, I thought maybe you mean that it's like the last game.
No, let's play a few more games. Let's make it 2-5.
Do you want to switch the time control or?
No. Let's give the same time control. That's fine. All right. So what did I mess up here? I mess up a lot of things. I felt
like trading the knight was. You have better knights. I think despite my knight being on d4, it cannot really do anything.
Yeah.
So when you offer to trade, I was really relieved because it makes my game so much easier.
And apparently rook c8 was not a very good move. I should have played rook e1.
I really didn't know what to do with my rooks, to be honest.
Yeah.
when I played rook e8, I wanted to play it back next move.
All right.
I really did not know what I'm doing with my rooks. I nearly blundered knight e7.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to play queen a5 or something. So I thought, oh, I might as well just protect e7.
Yeah, I should have played queen e1, and I actually thought about it. I should have just played it instead of bishop c4. And then if you defend the rook, then play bishop c4.
Yeah, I expected queen e1. I also thought that maybe instead of rook c2, rook c4 was better to prevent rook c3.
Yeah. Thank you, Chesson. Thank you, Chessoner, for the bits. Okay, very greatly appreciated, my friend. All right, so let's send a rematch, and let's play this to 5. All right, very good.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm muting myself again.
All right, guys, we continue the match. It's 3-2 for Maria. As you had heard already, it's first 2-5. So the match continues. Oh, I have to refresh. I got disconnected again, sadly. We see another scotch, guys. Another scotch. Will we see the sharp line that we had earlier? Or will we go back to this line with d5? I think we're gonna get. Oh, now it's basically the moment, right? It's either e5 or knight c3. Knight c3. Okay, we were not gonna go back to the sharp line. Yes, lockdown is getting stricter. Yes, over here. Certainly. It's all right. What happens if they tie? We haven't really discussed that. We're assuming it doesn't happen. Because then you would have, if it's 4-4, then you will need to have 2 draws, which is quite rare. Bishop g4. Will you see f3 now? Bishop e2. Also, my sound. Okay, no. Bishop takes e2. Yes, I'm FM and WIM. Yes. Is this the exact position as before? I think this is different. I think when bishop g4 was played, knight e2 was played. Now bishop e2 was played instead. Thanks for the cheer, Chesby. Thank you so much. Thank you. Who am I rooting for? Honestly, both. Honestly. With adoption matches, it's different. Actually it's more or less the same. Like in adoption matches, Nikola's most of the times considered as the underdog, so if he manages to avoid the adoption, that is like awesome. And we don't want to see Nikola being adopted, right? But this is a regular match, and I'm just here for very, very exciting games, and we are definitely being treated here. Not necessarily. No, I would like to see attacking and sharp games. That makes it really, really exciting. I like when the pieces are flying back and forth like we had in this game of the Scotch. I saw that, Glamjing, yes. queen takes b2. So after a move like rook b1, queen takes c2, you will be attacking the knight on e2. Looks pretty complicated. Interesting. You don't need to play rook b1, to be fair. You can simply play queen c4, protect the pawn on c2, and then consider playing rook b1. Okay, Maria plays rook b1 instantly. After queen takes c2, rook takes b4, queen takes e2, then Nikola will be a pawn up. Is there another move you can make? So for example, queen takes c2, knight d4 maybe. Make sure that you have your piece is very, very active. Have fun, Green Mango Man. Have fun. Queen takes c2 has been played. Yeah, it's a bit hard for Maria here to decide what to do. I don't see a really, really great opportunity here for white. So rook takes b4, queen takes e2. Yes, Chess Beast. Rook e4. So basically white is active, whereas black has the pawn, like is a pawn up. The problem is that it is not really clear how white can make use of this activity. Maybe putting the rook on e1 and then putting the other rook on e7 will help a lot. Maybe white could even win a pawn back like that. That could be very interesting. I would say queen c4 to put pressure on the pawn on c7, and also keep an eye on the pawn f7, which is most of the times a really, really nice target. But we have to be careful of after queen c4, rook d2, infiltrating on the second rank, which might be really, really annoying. So Maria goes for the queen trade, hoping for the best in the rook ending. Rook e2 has been played. I'm not sure what happens in the rook ending, to be honest, because after queen takes, rook takes b2, and then you have rook a4, and it's not so clear how the pawn on c7 is able to push, you know, because white can put a lot of pressure on these pawns. It makes it really hard for the pawns to move forward. Let's see what's gonna happen. a4. I'm not really a big fan of a4 because rook a4 immediately attacks the pawn on a7 and protects the pawn on a2. But it should be alright. Should be alright. a2. g4. Of course. It should be a draw, yes, but we're not ruling out any practical chances here. Offering, I mean, a pair of rooks has been traded off. Oh, now rook c4, you're just winning. Well, you cannot really win the pawn back because your pawn a4 is hanging, but it's certainly a great idea to put your rook there. And I think we might see the king pushing up soon. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, Glamdring. It is actually crazy, yeah. These are swindle times, exactly. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna see king h4 and the rook being planted on h5. I don't think it's gonna happen, right? I don't think it's gonna happen. You could actually now consider rook takes c7, to be fair, because you're attacking two pawns, and if rook takes a4, you take the other pawn on g7, for example. But now f5 has been played. You have to be careful here, because your pawn on g4 is also under attack. I would say king g2 would be the best move here. Just Just developing your king, putting it towards the center, as close as you can. Hoping for a back rank signal. Oh, that is interesting. That's very interesting. F3. Oh, I'm not a fan of F3. Because now the king is cut off and is not able to join the game. So now actually King H4, King G3 will be really interesting, guys. So I don't like F3 because the rook is on the second rank and there's no way that the king can actually join the game. It has to go all the way towards the side. Or you need to find a way to put the rook on F2 in order to support the king going up. But I'm not sure about this, guys. I'm not sure. Rook C5, but now the king goes to H4, King G3, and this should be over. This should certainly be over. Actually, Skrills, it's funny. I followed Nikola, but now I'm always following the person who is on with the white pieces. So it's a bit confusing because usually it doesn't change, right? White shouldn't. F3 was the critical blunder. If King G2, then there's still definitely some play there. But this is simply GG. Thank you so much, Chess Ninja. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know, right, Screws? Very interesting.
Yeah, this is a lesson how to not to play rook endgame.
Oh. Yeah, I think the critical moment was when you played F3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King G2, it should be alright.
But rook C5 is also fine, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think rook C5 was better. And I also could have taken before on C7 and G7.
Yeah, G4 was
G4, I think G4 is good because I keep my king protecting both pawns.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's
maybe
really
G3
bad.
is a bit better, but
yeah, maybe. In the game, it was all right, but I think the most important thing was that your king was not able to join the game.
Yeah.
And then it was cut off from the second rank.
Well, I had this idea about mating on H5, and then I forgot that the pawn is not on F2 anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, F5 is the best move here. I did not expect.
Yeah, F3 was basically...
F4 I should have taken on C7 immediately. Here I still have chances.
I think after F4 I think I was winning after. I actually liked F4. Yeah, computer likes it too.
Yeah, I think so too. You cannot stop King H4, King G3.
Yeah.
And all pawns are just dropping.
Yeah, taking on C7 is better.
Okay.
But yeah, I completely missed that my knight on A2 is not defended. I should have at least played rook B1 with another rook. Or maybe queen B3 immediately.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that...
Knight D4.
Yeah, perhaps that's better, yes.
Okay. Yeah, the line after bishop G5 is actually to play rook B8. Okay, I forgot that.
Bishop
hey!
D5?
You want to kiss my egg? Thank you for gifting the sub to 3 people. I guess that's not a violation of anything, so, okay.
It sounds funny. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's so funny, isn't it?
Taking on D5 is actually not good. I felt like D5 cannot be a less valuable pawn than B2.
Maybe you play C3 first.
Yeah, but then C6. Okay, bishop is hanging, right?
Yeah,
I forgot about this.
Yeah, I needed to play... Yeah, I think I need to keep the bishop on D6 and C5. I didn't play this opening very well.
Yeah, maybe bishop D6.
Okay.
But then if I take, you take with the... no, you still take with the queen and take on B2. Wow. Yeah, this middle game seems quite easy, but It's not that
It's
easy at all.
not. No. And you know what's funny? I played this with Dina about 10 times. And also Karina Bartsumova plays this a lot, and it's pretty tough to play actually as black. I had a pretty hard time. Okay. All right. Very good. Let's
forget style points. Alessia would be proud.
Okay. Let's do a rematch. I'm muting myself.
Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, guys, the match is 3-3. This match is super, super exciting. It's so close, and the games are super, super interesting. Are we gonna see another really sharp game? Are we gonna see solid play? Yes. There you go. 1e4. We will see another Kalashnikov. Ooh. I think so, Yale. I think so. Will we get 4-4? Then we will do sudden death. Armageddon, that is. That is the sudden death in chess. I think Nikola is considering to play another line. Is he? Is he? He's taking his time. Knight c3. There we go. Something else. Not really blue boy, no. Yeah, I think he's done with the Sveshnikov Kalashnikov. And he wants to change it a little bit. d6. I find it hard myself to play like close Sicilians as well. So we're not seeing a Sveshnikov or Kalashnikov right here. Well, could we still transpose to it? I don't think you want to go to b5 at this point with your knight. So I would say no. I would say no. a6. This is a totally different line now. No, of course, Noreta, of course. h3. Nikola is going to his favorite line that he plays usually against the Najdorf. Oh. Nikola is not Twitch partner yet, which is why we would really appreciate if you all could join Nikola's stream instead to make him partner as soon as possible. We would really appreciate if you do that, because he could use any support, and I think that this is at least the least thing we could do. The least thing we could do. G4, there you go. I love how Chess.com is calling this Sicilian defense close traditional line, but I think we're soon switching to another line. Very soon. Both players are taking their time in this opening. Seems like new territory, at least for in this match. So I'm really curious to see where this is going to go to. Queen a5. That's something I don't think I've seen before. That's really interesting. What do you guys think of Queen a5? Threatening knight takes e4, so bishop d2 defends the pawn on e4. Do you want to take it now on d4 and then play e5 maybe? I mean e5, not e6. Really interesting. You like it? All right. e5, there we go. Now the question, do you want to play knight f5, knight b3, knight takes c6? Lots of options here. I would personally prefer knight b3 simply because you're attacking the queen, making sure it has to leave from that square. And then you could actually consider playing g5 already and then putting your knight on d5. I think it looks like white will have an advantage there, but knight f5 has been played. I also like that move because you're putting pressure on d6. And if you can trade off the knight for that bishop, I think you should be all right. I guess. Oh, I would prefer g takes f5 simply because you want to keep the center intact. Now you might be giving black opportunities to push d5. Maybe not right now, but it could happen very soon. Do I have thoughts on moving the same piece multiple times, such as moving the same knight 2 moves in a row? Yeah, it really depends on one exactly. So, for example, there are many openings where pieces are being moved twice. But that's simply because that's how the opening is played, and that's just how it should be played. But if it's, for example, really unnecessary, like for example, what I often see people doing is that they have 2 pieces developed, and they continue developing that piece to attack the opponent really, really quickly. But what often happens is that you're actually not able to attack with these 2 pieces, and at some point your attack fails, and then you have to retreat, and then you wasted all your moves, and your king is still in the center. So it really depends. I would say don't move your pieces twice unless it's the opening. Also, I think a really clear example of this is when people play knight b5, like they play knight c3 and then knight b5 to put pressure on c7 square, you know, try to attack there. But if black is able to play a6 right away, and there was literally no reason that you played knight c3 to b5, then of course it doesn't make sense. You have to go back, and that's weird. But for example, in the Sveshnikov, what we saw after e5, you play knight to b5 because that's simply the line you follow, and you are trying to get on d6 square. Yes, true, Pizza Razor, true. All right, let's go back to the game, guys. We see that oh, it looks like white is dominating this position. We see that the pawns have pushed all the way to the 5th rank. The knight can jump to d5 really easily, and black's development is a bit shaky. It looks like black was able to develop their pieces, but as you can see, white is the one that has the most space, and that's really, really important. You can have all your pieces developed, but if you cannot really move your pieces around easily, it means you don't have space. And you can have all your pieces out, but they're like, as you can see, all these pieces are stuck together. It's hard to like push, for example, you can put an knight on d4, knight on c5, but it takes time. And until then, as you can see, queen h5, boom, you have knight e5, you can have f6 on your roof, g6. There are all sorts of moves that white could do here, and it's really hard for black to deal with that. Yes, I agree, Steph. Exactly. I agree. It's much easier for white to play here. And this is basically where it is all right to move your pieces twice. So for example, knight d5 is a perfect move. You're making use of that weakness on d5. And soon after that, you can follow up with other pieces. Now, the problem is here are 2 pawns under attack. Bishop d5, attacking on f7. Okay, that is really, really interesting. I like that. After g6, you can simply take. And if f takes g6, I'm not seeing it really. You might have to retreat, but at least you're not losing the pawn on f5. Bishop d5 is really interesting. I think queen g4 would be alright. You would want to go to e6 and f7. So for example, queen g4, if the knight leaves, knight takes c2, you could consider queen e6, queen f7. Of course, you drop the rook, so you might have to be careful about that first, but this is an idea. Yeah, black certainly has a hard time castling. I think it's going to be really, really hard for Maria here. Yeah. Knight takes c2, there we go. What is Nikola gonna do here? What is he gonna do? Yeah, yellow work, exactly. I'm also trying to look for some nice follow-up after queen e6, queen f7. Oh, he sacrifices the rook. I don't see it either. Like queen f7, you have bishop e6, knight d5, but I think it's a little bit too slow considering there's rook f8, guys. Ooh. This is getting spicy. This is very spicy. Knight e4. Maybe you could play bishop d2 and then take or rook c1 first. Rook f8. What do you do with the queen? Queen takes h7. Queen takes d5. Oh, that drops the bishop. Ooh. Okay, this is basically already over. There's no way that that white can have any sort of attack here. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that was tough. It looked very, very promising, but that's why sometimes it's good to like calculate lines, calculate concrete lines. We see knight takes a1, and as soon as we figured out queen e6, queen f7, king d8, and we don't really see a follow-up. So as soon as you don't see a follow-up, you just have to think about another way to deal with this. But yeah, this should be GG. Wait, there was bishop g5. Wait, bishop g5? Nah, king e8 should have been alright. Oh, wait, bishop g5. And then the pin is gone. Wow.
Uh-oh, I was losing a queen, right?
Yes, bishop g5.
I felt like there is something, but...
I did not think there would be something.
What did I
Wow.
miss?
No, it feels like it's just too many pieces heading my way.
So bishop g5 before king h1.
Okay.
Instead of, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. G2, g6. Yeah, queen, basically any queen move except, well, any queen move is fine.
Yes,
here.
I needed to play bishop g5 and I'm actually winning.
I wanted to play something nice.
Oh.
I wanted a beautiful move.
So I needed,
Yeah,
bishop g5 I should have seen.
Yeah, right. Bishop g5 is beautiful.
Crazy, yeah.
I was pushing too hard here.
No, but the idea, I was like really on the edge of my chair. Really scary.
Basically, I lost the track when I played queen e6. That was kind of stupid. I just needed to... there's no need for me to give you the rook.
Yeah, that is basically the problem. There was no clear plan after king d8. Like, it's not clear how you can attack anymore.
Yeah.
So then you're just down a rook.
Hey,
Yeah, I
Mapriel, my
think
friend.
bishop e3 is the best. You don't need to move your rook because, like, basically, if I give up this knight for a rook, I'm lost.
True.
So maybe just bishop e3, and
All right.
I lost the tempo with this pawn.
Okay, so too bad. All right. Hey, Mapriel, just thank you, my friend. It's very good to see you here. Mapriel is the biggest supporter of chess on Twitch, so it's very good to see here. I was hoping to play Queen e6 and then Knight e4, and then I may have something, but I don't have time to do it. I just need to play Rook b1. It was just I was even ahead of time.
Yeah, by much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I felt like this Queen a5 is really a Patzer move, but I did not find anything else to play after your g4.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to play e5. No, you don't play e5 in this position. Then next move again, I want to play e5. Finally, like, okay, I rather just play it now and stop wasting time fighting with myself.
Yeah, he tricks you there with knight c3.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, hey, Mapriel, I'm losing a match against Maria, which is fine.
Well, not yet. And I only swindled the previous game.
Yeah.
I should.
It is close.
You should have won it.
All right, very good. Okay, so 4-3, right? Okay, very good. Well, I'm sending a rematch. And let me mute myself.
Okay, yeah. So I'm still on beta, guys, which means that we might hear some or see some weird things going on. But that was beta. That was a beta sound. I'm a bit confused how that sound happened because I literally just refreshed. But okay, we're back to the Scotch, guys. So it's 4-3 for Maria. It's first 2-5. So if Maria wins this one, she wins the match officially. This match has been really, really close. It's really, really interesting to see. And yeah, I think we're not gonna see e5 anymore. I don't think so. Ah, thank you, Luke. Thank you. Chess Beast, thanks for the cheer. Thank you so much. Have a great day yourself as well. See you. Oh, we see e5, guys. We see e5. Oh, now things are gonna be really, really sharp. Queen e7, Queen e2, and we are back to Pinland. Yeah, it's just super exciting. It's super exciting. I mean, beyond, we have to be honest here. The positions here are so spicy, so sharp. You love to see that. G6. And the most fun part is I have no idea what's happening. Like, I tried to play this line myself a few times, and I often found myself struggling in this line. Like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? I prefer not to have any other languages than English in the chat because not everyone understands that. Like, and not everyone understands other languages. So I want to try to keep it English in the chat. Crazy theoretical position. Exactly, yes. Yeah, I could. As you could see, it took me a while But I can read Georgian. It's just hard. Hi Impish, like welcome. Hello. Bishop G7. You do understand chess. That is not true, Screws. You're a 1500 rated talented player. Okay. Both players are spending their times in this position, which is pretty funny. But I can totally understand that since yeah, this line is super sharp. If you make one mistake, it's almost over. Knight b4. Threatening knight c2 at least. Queen e4 could be a move here. I like queen e4. I like queen e4. Super active. Making sure there's no knight c2. Oh, this one. And also making space for the bishop to actually develop, because we don't like to see the bishop here stuck on f1, right? Knight f3. It's also a good move. It's also a good move. Protecting the pawn on e5. Although now it's going to be hard to move your queen away, although there is queen e4 now. c5. I think making sure the knight doesn't jump to d4. Bishop could go to b7 now. Oh, you're not even Georgian. That is super interesting. That is super interesting. This is very similar. Yes, Yale. That is very similar. Yes, at some point she played e6. Yeah. Yeah. Queen e4. I would say short castle best move for sure. At some point you have to play it. Oh, rook b8. Okay. That's also fine. So basically, Nikola is preparing bishop b7. Makes total sense. Enjoy dinner, JPs. Enjoy. Bishop e2. So far, so good, guys. So far, so good. I'm a little worried of the queen here. It looks very, very strong, but after bishop b7, it doesn't really have so many squares. Difficult. Bishop b7. I guess queen would be nice on f4, I mean. Right here. You need to keep defending the pawn at e5. Okay, so the position is not that sharp anymore. But it's basically imbalanced. I would call it imbalanced simply because the pawn structure is odd. The pieces are like on irregular spaces. For example, irregular squares. So for example, the knight on b4. Usually you don't see the knight on b4 like that. It can actually be quickly kicked out by a move like a3. But after a3, we see knight c6, and this pawn e5 is really weirdly placed, and it might actually drop very, very soon. Not that much, Luke, not that much. Hey, Lally, welcome, great to see you. Queen e6, what I don't like about queen e6 is that you allow knight g5, which might be slightly annoying. Also allows white to play f4, defending the pawn e5. So I'm not really sure about that. There's basically no need to play queen e6 now. There's no need. I do think, though, that you might be able to play d6, actually, because the pawn cannot take on d6, because that drops the bishop on e2. So d6 could be interesting. There we go. There we go. sometimes it's more easy. Sometimes it's easier to be on the sideline, because in the game there are so many things happening in the game. Sometimes people on the side see things better than the actual players, but they're not really stronger than them. So yeah, it's difficult. Queen b1 is definitely awkward. Yes, yeah. I liked it to be on f4 more, much more. Yes, 4-3 is really, really close. It's after they made a bad move. Yes, often the case. Oh, takes on d6. Oh. Oh, bishop takes g7. What has Maria calculated? Maybe something with the pawn? Is she considering something like d7? D takes d7? Interesting. Rook e1. But I think queen c2, and I think black is fine, right? Should be fine. Yeah, this should be all right. I'm not sure how we can make use of this pawn here. I don't really see it. Rook takes e8. Black can just take on b1 with check. But there's actually no need. You can just take back with the rook. And after queen takes, you have knight takes c2. Okay, it's the same thing. Doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, this is winning for black, for sure. Rook d8, and yeah, soon bishop c6. Although 95, but then you play f6. That's okay. That's another way. King f6, and now you're just picking up the pawn, or king f8. Same thing. This should be GG. Just king e7, king takes d7. Oh, 97? Interesting. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's a good move, c6. b4. King e8. b5. Interesting. Trying to take the pawn on a7 because the rook drops the pawn on a7. It should not be enough for a draw, but we never know. Rook f6. Trying to complicate things. Oh, I like to see rook c6 because it's interesting to see what Nikola would have done there. Check, maybe a5. King is just coming closer. .95, and you cannot defend the pawn on b5 anymore. a6, but drops the pawn. And there's no way you can take the other pawns. Drops the knight! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! This should still be winning, but this is making things very, very hard. Oh, this is getting close. Oh no. Oh, that was very, 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 very hard. Oh, this should be a draw. I think theoretically it is a draw, but practically anything could happen. This is interesting, guys. This is making things really, really interesting. It seemed definitely over for white, but now there are definitely chances. If I have to be honest with you, I'm not sure how black could win here. Like, do you try to put the king all the way towards the pawn? I know for a fact that the more you push the pawn, the less easy it becomes to actually make it promote. But the king needs to stay in this corner. Oh, I think, oh no. No, there's rook f1 and that's GG. That's GG. Because the rooks are being traded off and black is a pawn up and now simply collects the other pawns. Maria played really, really well. She tried her best. She tried her absolute best. GG.
I completely didn't deserve to win this.
No,
I
that's
thought
not
you
true.
were winning. You were winning all the way.
Actually, that I'm pretty sure that after I took on b1, you just needed to play rook e1 and you are actually winning. I missed that. That
On
was
b1?
Yeah. Well, I'll have to let you know which move it is.
You mean my queen?
Yeah.
No, you're winning.
Let me see.
No, after rook e1, black still has. You still have the queen.
Oh, okay. I was worried. Did I miss? Did I miss this twice? Where is queen b1 here? Yeah, queen b1.
Ah, no, queen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still have.
I have to recapture. Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to recapture. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was worried about. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with this. I should have played I should have played a3 first.
Yeah.
And then maybe take, or maybe just b4.
Oh yeah, that would have been interesting.
But then I really don't like this position with the pawn on a5.
Yeah.
I wanted to find some chances. But yeah, endgame was lost. My king is too far away and these pawns are really bad.
Yeah. I didn't need to blunder the. I didn't need to blunder the knight. But,
yeah, but
okay.
it's still winning, so...
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
So we are now, I guess, drawn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tough match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very close. You're both playing very, very well.
You're very kind, Anna-Maja, but thank you.
We can also both play very bad.
I literally had 2 games, one with a 99% accuracy, and this one was also very good according to the computer. But then if you look, I have like 17% accuracy in the subsequent game. That's the real problem.
You just cannot stay on the same level.
Oh God. And blundering that knight was just a example. There was no need for that, but okay. All right, I'm sending you.
I mean, that happens.
Anyway, good game, Maria. Thank you.
Good
I'm
luck.
sending this out.
I am trying to fall.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, unless it is a draw, this should be the last game. In the case of a draw, that's gonna be funny. But this is basically the decider, guys. Knight c3. Oh. Nikola is trying to confuse Maria, and Nikola figured out that that in this line he's doing much, much better. e5 instantly. There we go. Knight e2. Ooh. Are you gonna see g2, g3, bishop g2? I would love to see that. h3 instead. It's almost the ideas are very, very similar. So h3, I like it. Bishop e6, g4, a3. h6 now. Yeah, it's kind of hard if you don't know the theory or you're struggling to find the right ideas here. It's really, really hard to play. But we see d5 on the board. d5. Is that working? Can you take on e4 now? I'm not sure about it, but it looks fine to me. Pawn takes. This is an interesting position. You would say that black is better here, but yeah. Okay, you win the pawn back maybe? Knight g3, bishop g2. I'm really wondering. Bishop f5, knight g3. There we go. There we go. I think bishop d. Well, actually, bishop d5. Then you are gonna face knight c3. But then there's knight d4. You still can play knight d4. But yeah, this is, I would say, less good. But maybe if g6, you can still take there. Knight d4 has been played. But now you can simply. Oh, if you take on f5, then knight takes c2, knight takes a1. Huh. Interesting. You can still take on c2 if you like. There we go. Knight takes c2. Maria is seeing some really, really nice tactics here. Knight takes f5. Oh. That's interesting. It makes sense. So basically, after knight takes a1, you can actually consider bishop takes e4, trapping the knight on a1. And then as soon as you're able to move your bishop, then you will just simply take the knight on a1, and then you will have two pieces for the rook. And there he goes. Wow. Both players are spotting some really nice tactics here. That's nice. Really cool to see. Yeah, what does Maria do about this? Because it's almost inevitable. Like, maybe some move like... Well, the thing is, you want to play rook c8 so that the knight can move to c2. But first of all, the pawn will be hanging on b7. Second of all, after rook c8, there might be bishop e3. And if you play knight c2, then you simply play rook c1, and the knight is pinned, and you will lose the knight or the rook. So this is a little bit shaky. Little bit shaky. She's addicted to Puzzle Rush. Aww. Puzzle Rush is lots of fun. Bishop takes b7. Interesting. Rook c7. But now she might be able to free the knight. She might move it to c2 now. Hello, and the spirit, welcome. Hello. Bishop d2. You might want to consider playing g6. Okay, knight e4. Should be alright. I like g6 more because then you can put your knight to d4. It's a really strong one. Yeah, I think Nikola can definitely hit 2000 rating OTB, definitely. Yes. c5, bishop b4. Oh, this is looking interesting. Are the bishops gonna be able to trap that rook on c5 or not? That's the question. Yes, Maria now needs to develop and trade. Yeah. It's getting hard though because the bishops are attacking the rook every single time. I guess now you want to play rook c4, perhaps? So after bishop takes f8, you have to take with the king, otherwise you fall into the fork there, 96. Yeah, what does Nikola do here? Yeah, it's not. It's kind of hard. Kind of hard to play here. Kind of hard. So, for example, yeah. Oh, and takes on f5 first. That's interesting. That's interesting. It seems to be working. You don't need to take on f5, but it certainly helps simplifying the position. Rook d1. Oh. Let's see, maybe g6. I think g6 is the best thing you can do here. And see where the bishop goes to. Because at some point you might want to try to push f5 or something. Rook c7, making sure there's not going to be a rook on d7 or bishop on d7. That's great. That's a great move. Bishop takes h7, but now g6 and the bishop is trapped, right? And there's no way you can save the bishop. Yeah, this is GG. This should be GG. Yeah. And for example, h4, there's a rook h8, and there's no way you can defend. You could try rook e1, obviously, something, but then rook c5, and there's no way that white can help the bishop. Poison pawn, yes, we all know this kind of trap from Bobby Fischer's game, the very, very famous game. Oh, does not even defend the pawn e5. That's pretty funny. Rook takes e5, rook e7. Yeah, this is GG. Resignation. And Maria has won the match now officially. Congratulations, Maria, sorry.
No worries.
Thank you, Nikola.
No, thank you. That was good.
I think I underestimated your sacrifice over rook. Just bishop b7 probably was wasting a tempo. And I think if you play knight e3...
I think taking on b7 was incorrect. Maybe bishop e3 immediately, and then after knight c2 you play rook c1.
You also pin my knight.
Yes,
knight
I think
c2,
that was better.
c1. Yeah, I was thinking knight e3, but bishop e3 is even better. The only thing is your knight after g3 probably goes to, after g6, probably like knight g3. Yeah, this is not a problem. No, I thought I'm losing my knight, so I was just hoping for this bishop b7 to escape.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have gone pawn grabbing. I was under the impression that I can play some bishop c6 at some point, but that was not good. So, okay.
Yeah, it looked promising, but it was not enough.
I am so scared of all this g4, h4. So I thought, okay, let's just trade the queens. And then I'm like, oh, d5. That's that cannot be bad.
Yeah, no, this is good. And I actually have one suggestion. Since this is supposed to be adoption match, and I've already, paid the bounty. You want to play one adoption in bullet?
I'd love to. The only thing is that I have this
you need...
commentary in half an hour.
Okay, very good. So
yeah, I
okay.
I could not escape, and we actually lost one co-commentator, and I had to quickly find another one for today.
Right.
So if I also cancel it, it would be really bad. But
no, that's fine.
I'd love to do another match in any time control.
I appreciate that. This was good. It basically shows the weakness of me playing these adoption matches, because my plays has been historically very inconsistent, and here I have several very good games, very good end games, and then I take on h7, which was just stupid. Yeah.
I also think that, well, that's why I also suggested to have it not as adoption match. I already said that, Nikola, you're improving so much, and your play is just, I'm scared, honestly, to play you.
No, thank you.
And I think the fact that you're playing an adoption match just puts you mentally in a position where you expect that you will lose games. So I wanted to see how you will play in a match where you are actually playing for a win.
Yep.
And you see, like, it was really close, and I was expecting to lose. Mapriel, thank you so much for your 10,000 beats. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, and,
I agree with you.
Thank you. And Hedgehog, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Mapriel. Okay. So you need to go. Anna-Maja, you're going to continue streaming?
No.
Okay.
Not for now, at least. I'm taking a break, that's for sure.
Actually, it's fine. My big problem in my chess improvement is basically inconsistency. Like, I need to figure out how to improve
your
that.
games sometimes are really good.
Yep.
And then it's like you have... I think we have the same problem, actually.
Yes.
I started the match quite like strongly, and then I felt like, well, now my luck should end at this point. And then I started blundering. So I think it's more of a mental problem that we need to fight with, and I feel like we have the same.
Yeah,
that's quite possible. I see that you both are playing really well with the tactics. Like, sometimes you both blunder, but there were certainly moments that your tactics both were really good. You've seen both some really interesting things. For example, in this game, you gave away the rook, but you knew you would get something in return for that. So that's not easy.
Yeah, and I saw that it's probably coming. Knowing Nikola, I expected that it will come, and then like, oh crap, now I will have to try to save this knight. So we definitely have both strong points, and both like psychological problems which we probably need to work on. And I'd love to see how this will how we will both evolve in like a couple of weeks or a month after working with Lizzie and maybe doing some more matches. But I definitely feel a bit more confident than before in playing matches.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Anna-Maja, as well. I will
my pleasure.
Rewatch later to see the commentary.
Oh yes.
Thank you, Blundering, for the beat.
All right. So
I tried my best.
Thank you. So let's. So I'm gonna continue streaming. I think I have a chess TV slot. So
yes,
I'm gonna analyze.
So I will be also rating you. And
yes, we'll be rating you.
If you both rate me, let me do this.
Maybe we can see some puzzle battles from Nikola.
Oh yes, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be definitely useful.
It's actually, it really helps me in time trouble to see tactics.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
the
for sure.
That
it
I
really
do is
helps
probably
a
bit too excessive, but doing about an hour a day certainly doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
No, it's certainly like a good thing to practice with. Yes.
Yeah, 50,000 season points is probably a bit too much a month, but
all right. So we are planning a bullet match. So
yes.
especially since I promised Alessia Ferrari if she adopts me in bullet.
You don't need to promise me a Ferrari,
No.
just an apartment on Mayfair.
That's actually more expensive than the Ferrari, man. If I'm not
Exactly,
mistaken.
I know my
Okay.
things.
And but here is a funny thing again with when it comes to a bullet match against Alessia is that I actually won last 5 adoption matches against her. So I'm 5-0 in matches, and if she fails to adopt me 5 times in a row, then I've adopted her. So
It's like
so I won 10-0 in matches. So
it's
that's
like adoption reversed.
correct. So we're gonna have some fun there. All right, guys. Thank you, and thank you and welcome people who just come from Chess TV. This is my name is Nikola. This is the tail end of Adopt Nikola with Maria Emelianova. I'm going to analyze a few games that I've played. And Anna-Maja Kazarian is a great commentator as always.
Thank you so much.
No, you're more than welcome. Next week, I am playing against one and only international master Danny Wrench. It's tentatively scheduled for 4 p.m. on a week from today, on the Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that match. And we'll see let's do some analysis of this match. And I'm going to disconnect and you just bear with me. I'm going to just adjust the layout and then we're going to go into analysis mode. And thank you, Maria, again for the match. Congratulations on winning.
Thank you, Nikola.
Congratulations, GG, Nikola. That was a great match.
Thank you. And thank you, Anna-Maja, for the commentary. I'm looking
Thanks
forward
for
to
having me. It's always my pleasure to do this.
Thank
it
you.
was lots of fun once again.
Right.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and
Thank
also
you.
entertaining our chats. So
I tried my best.
Thank
you
you.
didn't leave them alone.
All right.
No.
So guys, stick around. I'm going to very quickly adjust the layout. I'm going to end the call now. And
Yes,
bye,
same
Maria.
here.
Bye, Anna-Maja. And just...
Bye, Nikola and Maria.
Anna-Maja.
Bye. Have a great day.
Yeah, bye. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically send a quick... I'm going to dismiss them real quick. And then we are going to... Bye. All right. Very good. So just bear with me while I adjust the layout real quick. And then, this Maria is a dear friend of mine, so I'm not going to say I don't mind losing because I do. But playing against Maria was very interesting because Maria and I actually have matching chess personalities, but not the styles. So, okay. Let's see.
Okay.
All right, so Maria is still...
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I was just focused on fixing my thing.
Very good. I'm removing
Bye.
it. Bye. Thanks. All right, so just bear with me while I adjust the layout real quick. And then we're going to continue on a little bit on the analysis. And, oops, so just bear with me for 1 second. All right, so, I think this match has shown my biggest problem when playing is inconsistency. We're gonna look into a few games, and I'm actually curious to see what we're gonna find. Just bear with me. All right, there. Much better. Very good. Ooh. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna take Anna-Maja Kazarian out. And let's see what's going on. All right, let's go. Okay. Let's make this bigger. And let's take a look at the games real quick. All right. perfect, actually. All right, and let's hide Anna-Maja. All right, guys. So here is a very quick commentary about this match. I'm gonna now go into analysis mode. Let's look at the archive, and here is a very interesting comparisons of this game. I mean, if you look at I have a game that I had. The first game, let's take a quick look. Let me adjust to this. I'm gonna hide this, and let's change this. You see, I'm here, and this is the most difficult part of me playing this. I have a game in which I have that it was incredibly uneven match. And let's just go down. And let's go here, and let me just resize this, and then we can take a look. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, all right. So here is an interesting situation in this match. This was the very first game in this match, and I was playing, what I basically expected to play against Maria. Maria basically plays Sveshnikov, which is interesting. And okay, all right, so let's go up a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's good, that's perfect. Yeah, all right. So Maria normally plays Sveshnikov, and thank you, Anna-Maja. Thank you for raiding with the party of 80. Very greatly appreciated. Thank you for the commentary. Thank you for this, and thank you for playing here. And it was a genuine pleasure. So let's take a look at here an analysis. So I expected this to be played, and thank you, Maria. Thank you again for the match. Congratulations on winning the match. And thank you, JPs, for the follow. It was a pleasure and an honor. So knight b5 is a normal, d6 is normal. Now, I wanted here to play c4, but I wasn't, throughout this match, I was not exactly sure how I want to play this particular opening. The option here is to play knight c3 here, which may be actually a better continuation, and when the computer settles down, it's going to be significantly better. I don't like this bishop d3 option. In other words, there are three continuations here that computer lists. One is bishop d3, another is basically to play knight 1 c3, and then basically play after a6, play knight a5. Let me actually show you this line. So after this is one potential option, and we actually, I think, and then play after b5, play knight d5. I was, that's perfectly fine, and then, after knight f6, it can be bishop g5, or, or better yet, there is an option for white to play c4, which actually might be a better move order than we ended up playing. I really had a hard time throughout the match deciding what variation I wanted to play, so I ended up alternating between playing c4, and then after a6, we're still in theory here, knight f6, bishop g5, computer prefers bishop d3. I think bishop g5 is actually the normal theoretical variation, and after bishop e7, I think white is almost forced to take on f6. Thank you, JPs. That's very good. Thank you. It's very good to have you here. And so, and after bishop f6, knight d5, I felt, and I still feel, that this position, regardless of the computer evaluation, is actually a position that's slightly better for white, very frankly, I'm still fairly uncomfortable in these Sicilian positions, and that's one of the problems I have in these games. So now after castle, knight c3, which is fine. In other words, we have the Marozzi bind, and this pawn on d6 is a potential target, which is what white is supposed to aim for. Bishop e2, which is a perfectly normal move. g6. Incidentally, I expected here some sort of variation with bishop g5, after which white can actually play h4. And that's actually one of the reasons why bishop d3 is supposed to be better than a bishop e2. Because although black can take on h4, there is a queen h5. So that was imprecision on my part. All right, so g6, knight f6, takes, knight d5. Queen g5 is a good move. g3 is actually not the best move. I was supposed to play h4. And let me take actually a look at that computer analysis. So basically after h4, basically you cannot take because this traps the queen. Okay, I missed that. And then queen g2, bishop f3, and yeah, so basically h4 was better. Instead I played g3. And after g3, bishop h3 is a good move. Queen d2. I probably could have played bishop f1. And then after this, you see, I misplayed this because I was under the impression that this ending is actually slightly better for white because of the pawn on d6. The problem is that, this is actually a mistake. And I basically, and this is why this is a mistake. This is one of the reasons why I sometimes hate chess, to be very frank with you guys. I completely missed knight f6 and take on e4. Okay, so after this take on e4, I missed that. Then I played f3, which is a blunder. And after this, I'm basically defending a worse endgame. And I'm not doing that bad a job here. Bishop g4 was inaccurate. Okay. What is it that it's better here? I was supposed to go on e3. Okay. And bishop g4, f5, bishop e2. Okay, I'm still tenuously holding to this position, and then a4 is simply a blunder. I needed to play king e3. Yes, and of course I missed the simple tactic, and at that point I resigned. Okay. This is actually, very frankly, this very disappointing, because what that proves is that I've been using to playing these adoption matches in which, you know, as I can lose 9 games and then win or draw 1 and I am fine. And I played this like an adoption match, and I don't think I made a mental adjustment that this is actually not an adoption match, that this is actually a real match. I wouldn't have been this casual about this game if I wasn't aware of this. Okay, yeah, and missing a simple tactic here, like knight f6, which would have won the game, is very frankly inexcusable. I don't want to kick myself too hard on stream too much, but this is a severe disappointment, actually, to be honest with you. I shouldn't have allowed that to happen. All right, so that was game 1. All right, so let's take a quick look at game number 2. Game number 2, this is great. I have a native. How did I lose this? Oh yes, I basically ran out of time. All right, so this is not bad. This is normal theory. I'm very familiar with all of this, though very frankly, I didn't expect Maria to play this. Oh, and thank you, JPs. That means a lot. That's very greatly appreciated, and thank you again for the follow. So after c4 and bishop a6, this is all standard theory. b3 is a standard theory. g6 is fine. f4 is the best move. This is all standard theory. d6 is fine. And bishop b2 and queen d2 is, I think, not a good move, because what queen d2 or queen d2 does is basically allows black to play you know, some knight f6, which is obviously there, but queen on d2 is actually on the wrong side of the bishop on e2 that's going to come. So that was fine. And computer prefers knight b6. I think knight f6 is probably the better move here, or maybe not. Let's see what the difference is. Okay, so computer wants to go into this crazy variation with c5, bishop f1, king f1, d takes on c5. Wow, tripled pawns, but this is supposed to be better for black. Okay, hey Lale, good to see you. I'm analyzing my match against Maria Emelianova. Maria actually won that match 5-4. It was a pretty interesting match. All right, so c5 and bishop f1. That wasn't played. What they played instead was knight f6, which computer considers a major inaccuracy. And Maria actually had a pretty dangerous move, which was queen a5. That would have been very hard to counter, because that defends the pawn on e5, attacks the bishop. So I missed that. Bishop e2, take on e5, take on e5, knight d7. Computer prefers taking, okay, I've actually thought about playing rook d8, but I was worried that after rook d8 that white has this. Oh yes, at the end of this I take on b2 of all these exchanges, and I'm actually better. That's what the problem was. In other words, this was all right, so that's, I missed that. I'm actually a couple of pawns ahead in this line, and not to mention that that knight doesn't have a good escape square, and in the next move white is gonna probably capture this pawn and this. Okay, hey Lali, yes, I gotcha. So thanks, it's good to see you. I can relate. I wasn't, so knight e7, e6, knight e5, all fine, ef7, queen f7, okay. Rook f1 was not the best move, and I, instead of queen d7, I should have played queen e6. And if I play queen e6, then there is a interesting, this line makes no sense to me. I'm going to have to spend some more time analyzing this, and I'm going to show this on my best losses tomorrow. So just bear with me. Okay, so this threatens, let's see, if white plays something normal like this, I threaten rook d8, and then basically white, there is this check on d3 that's dangerous. Okay, so I missed that. Instead I play queen d7. A queen a5 was a blunder, which I knew it was. And hey, Killspot123, thank you for the follow. Basically what I was planning to play here was to play knight d3, but then instead of doing it, I blundered the I basically ran out of time here because I'm only down to 2 seconds. Okay, that's very actually bad. And now we got the game that I won, and I have like ridiculous level of accuracy, which is nice. It's the same Sicilian we played throughout. Okay, bishop g5. And this is the line we discussed later. And Maria took on f6 with a pawn, which I'm not sure. Yeah, actually, that's supposed to be the line. Okay, takes, knight f6, e6, c3. All of these are actually known moves. And then a4. I had this position on my board, and I knew that this is basically a standard plan here. In other words, in this variation, white needs to play a4. And that was pretty impressive. Takes, takes, queen a4, bishop d7, queen e4, and then bishop d3, okay, which makes perfect sense. And after this, I'm basically relatively easily winning, and this is basically game over because both rooks fall. Okay. So I'm actually, very honestly, I'm a little upset with this. Hey, Mershwell Farag, very good to see you. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for being here. So this is the common problem, unfortunately, in my game. It's like this is almost a perfect game. It was there in preparation, and it was there throughout. And then, basically, then I played the game in which I didn't see the simple tactic. I'm not sure how I'm going to resolve that, to be honest with you guys. All right, let's look at a couple of more games before I let you go. So here is, another very good game. This was basically another good game on my part. We're still playing the same stuff. And I have this variation here that I think I actually... this is actually a theoretical line, and after knight e2, d5, c3, bishop c5, I think I'm actually quite better here. Oh, okay, bishop c8, b4, bishop d6, and I'm actually, rook e5. All of this is fine. And then towards the end of this particular game, bishop e3, I'm transitioning over the knight, and then I'm pretty proud of this knight c4 move. Thank you, which is the best computer move. Knight d4, takes, takes. And here I am basically have very close to a one endgame. All right, and okay. In other words, computer didn't want me to exchange rooks. Okay, that might have been a little bit pushing too hard. Okay, so basically, this is a drawn endgame. And the reason it's a drawn endgame, and I played f5, computer wanted me to play f6. I guess because it's important not to allow e5 for the pawn. Okay. Or king f8, which is actually a better move. Okay, yes. So basically what I missed in this position is this tactics, not here, but, after... And we can actually continue looking at the game. f5, queen e2, queen e8, h4, queen e6, and yeah. All right. So here, after king f6, I'm still winning, but a5 is dangerous for me because after g5, I thought this was a straightforward win, but at some point Maria had an option of playing knight a7. Let's see where that was. It was basically here. Yeah, after I played f5, Maria basically had an option of playing a5 and then knight a7 and then to draw this endgame. Okay. If I played against a grandmaster or against Anna Muzichuk or somebody else, this would have been a drawn endgame, and I would have been very fairly upset. So we continued the game, and then basically, since that was missed, I was able to convert this endgame fairly convincingly. Okay. But missing this knight a7 motive is pretty bad. Okay. Right. So let's close this. Let's go to the archive. Let's look. So yeah. Okay. And this is another game that we played, and for some reason I decided not to play this. Okay, we're playing the same variation, and I decided that I'm gonna give this a try, and we replayed. This time I played bishop d3, which is actually a better move. Queen d2 is fine, bishop e6, and all of this is perfectly fine until I missed another simple tactic here, and that simple tactic was to basically play queen e1 and take advantage of this undefended queen. And then after rook a c8, play bishop c4. Okay, that's actually fairly disappointing. I should have seen this, and especially since I looked and queen e1. Right, so after that, b6, g3, and all right, and Maria actually converted this very well. f4 was pushing it, and then I should not have sacrificed the bishop. That was a mistake. Okay. All right. Okay, one more look at this, and then yeah, let's look at this. Is the game we looked. Then another game that we played in the same variation of all right, I don't care what computer says, and this is again a very good game from a computer standpoint. This is all theory, and bishop g5, this is fine. And then after, yes, Lally, that's probably true. My problem is that, you know, in this match I have alternated games with like 98.3, 99% accuracy, prep, and everything else. But, you know, and then Maria missed this rook takes on b4, and then after rook e4 here, we ended up in an endgame that's, yeah, that I'm actually curious to see. Is this, and hey, Reckless Fury, it's very good to see you. Is this, so computer consider this to be slightly better for black. But yeah, exactly, you're right. I think I need to do some more tactics, because I was missing very simple tactics in this game. All right, so rook g4, that's actually not good, exchanging, and now should be a one position for black, and frankly, this for me is the best part of the match. I think I converted this really well. I think f4 is a very inspired move on part. I'm pretty proud of it. And then rook c5, king h4. This is a blunder, and now I'm obviously easily winning. Okay, so that was a pretty good game. All right, so let's leave. All right, so that was that. And this was a game in which I forced my favorite defense against Sicilian, Adam's Attack. And Adam's Attack will never be a fan of computers, so I'm not worried. So I'm curious. Computer prefers knight b3 as opposed to knight f5. And ef5 is fine. g5 is an excellent move, and castling is the good move. So where did this go south? South. Basically, I needed to play bishop e3 here, or even better, and I actually considered playing this. Instead of playing king h5, I should have just played, I think I considered knight d5, and that knight d5 was actually a better move than queen h5. The problem with queen h5 is that, you know, I was thinking as calculating here that, you know, I can play at some point queen h6, but I can't, because if I play queen h6, knight f5 traps the queen. And so I played queen g4, and this is still fine. And then I thought that I could ignore the rook. In other words, I needed to play rook b1 was a perfectly nice move. Bishop e3 was a perfectly fine move. There is no reason to sacrifice a whole rook in this position. I thought that I had a mating attack, so that's the problem. And this is, yeah, and here this was pretty scary for Maria. Computer wants me to, I thought that there is a mate here in few moves, but I don't have enough, ended up not having enough firepower. And to add insult to injury, after this, Maria made a blunder, and I didn't spot the very good tactical rejoinder. This is this bishop g5 that would have basically won me the queen and the game. All right, so that was unfortunate, and the rest, obviously, this is resignable. Okay. Whew. All right. So, oh well, okay. All right, let me look at one more game. And yeah, it would have been a nice win at the very last moment. Then we played another theoretical variation in which I was never in trouble. And this is all fine. This is all theory. And here I play knight b4, which is actually pretty good plan. The idea is push c5. Rook b8 is fine, and then put the bishop on b7. Queen b1 is the best move. That looked a little bit suspicious. And after rook e8, rook d8 is fine. Yeah, I think, Lally, you may be right. And then here, Maria decided to go for this. All right. Yeah, and then this is basically a won game. Even if I manage to blunder a whole knight here for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, that was just stupid, but I'm still, you know, this end game is still winning for black. So blunder, and then I had a little school in how to convert this rook endgame, which is actually, this is a very good motive, and this pawn endgame is winning. No, Reckless Fury, they're not bullet matches. I think Lally is onto something. I'm playing way too many bullet games. I think it's starting to affect my regular play, and I think Lali's okay, and this is easily won. Okay. Let me look here. All right. Then, of course, we alternate two very good games. I win a game. That's the game I just shown. And then Maria basically won this. And again, slip through figures. Thank you, computer. C5, this, E5, knight D2 is best. I want to play interesting. So computer wants me to play something else, but it wants me to play G3. Okay, that's interesting. G4. I wish I had this endgame again. I didn't think I was. Okay, I needed to take on F5 and then take on E4. And then have king on E2. Okay, so basically computer wanted me to play this. And then after knight C2 here. And then take on E4. And then I have, the knight is trapped. Okay. Ooh, okay. So if I played B4 here, I still had a fighting chance. Okay, I didn't see that. And this is basically just a one-end game. And please don't ask me why I play bishop h7. Okay. So the problem here in this match is very honestly that I played this as if this was an adoption match, as if I was playing against adoption, and it's enough to win one game. And this, the problem with playing adoption matches is that you need one decent game out of 10 to, hey, chessbeast 1129 and hey, DNA 2006 TG. So, Reckless Fury, thank you for the sub, very greatly appreciated, thank you. So basically I played this as an adoption match. And I need to do two things. I think Lali is right. I need to basically declare a moratorium on me playing bullet games because it's starting to affect me. There are lots of positions here when I played on feel, and I may need to start playing some longer games, and that's probably the next step. And I think I'm going to continue playing these matches. I'm not sure that I think this is 19th match. I played 18 adoption matches. I may decide that I'm going to basically stop playing these adoption matches and start playing regular matches against stronger opponents and see how well that goes. Anyway, well, congratulations to Maria. There are few games here that I would be happy with. If this was a regular adoption match, this would have been obviously a great result, but this wasn't, so this is a little bit disappointing. But again, Maria played really well. We both of us have some great games. I very frankly had my very first longer 99% game, which I guess I should be proud of. But what I think needs to be said is that my knowledge of the Zen of these positions in Sicilian is still lacking. Hey, Ethan Sapir, it's very good to see you. Thank you. And I need, hey, Storm2709, thank you. I'm just doing, the stream is almost over. I'm just doing a very quick analysis of the games I played against Maria Emelianova. It was a very interesting match. Let me just see one very quick thing. Yes, very good. I just have a couple of program announcements, and then I'm gonna send you somewhere. If you have somebody where I can send you, please let me know. Basically, my next stream will be today at 4 p.m. New York time. I'm gonna hosting, commentating a match between 2511, who is here and who is a mod, and I'm giving him a quick shout out. He's playing an adoption match against Adriana Nikolova, and let me give a shout out to both Adriana and 2511. They're both streamers and friends, so please give them a follow and give them a shout out. They're great. And perfect. AU for all. I'm gonna raid Elizabeth Pachts. She is my on-stream coach, and I am going to actually raid her right now. So basically, my next stream is on 4 p.m. today. That is in little less than 4 hours. This will be on all 3 of our channels. After that, I have my best losses Monday at 8 p.m. New York time, and then my first session with Elizabeth Pachts will actually be on Thursday. On Thursday at 9. If you haven't, actually it's 7 a.m. New York time. If you haven't joined my Discord server, please do so. That's where I send a notification of streams. And yes, Dirk, I have an off-stream coach. It's Alex Estane Lopez. So I'm gonna actually have a pretty busy streamer schedule. My IRL has settled down a little bit, so I'm gonna have some chances there. Anyway, I will see you guys in about 4 hours. In the meantime, I'm sending a raid over to Elizabeth Pachts, who is streaming chess. Oh, and she's playing with Miss Messi and Grandmaster Solid, great Anna Muzichuk. That's their common Sunday streams. Enjoy, and I will see you in 4 hours. And say hello to Elizabeth and Anna. They're great ladies and great friends of this channel. One is my coach, and one I played a really good match, and I also had my chances there, but I ended up getting adopted. Anyway, bye guys. Thank you.